Okay, so for the crab picture, your colors you are going to need our white, brown, a dark blue, a light blue. You don't need the light blue if you don't have one, but it's a little easier. Red and green. So those are the colors that you are going to need. You're going to need a couple different sizes of paintbrushes. And then when I paint, I always make sure I have like a cup of water and a paper towel so it's easy to clean out your brushes, because if you let your brushes dry with acrylic paint, it actually ruins your paintbrushes. So you always want to keep them wet so they don't get ruined. Okay, so I know I'm at like a weird angle, so I'm going to do my best to hold it up so you can see it. But these are going to be like the 3 sizes I use. A little bit bigger, medium, and a small one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the dark blue paint. We're going to kind of scoop quite a bit up. And we're not going to paint the whole canvas. I will show you how far I'm going to paint down once I got it painted. And I'm just going to go back and forth. You can always go around the corners so you get the corners all painted. And so with my paper down on the table, I don't really have to worry about being messy or anything. I just can paint it and clean it up later. So this is going to be our water. So as you can see, I did not paint all the way down. I left a little bottom because that is going to be the sand. So paint that much. And then this is where you can go in with your light blue or your white. And you're just going to go over the top. I'm going to use white. The top of your blue. And as you can see, it's making it lighter. Because our water isn't all going to be the same color. We're just going to work. See how I'm just kind of like flinging my brush back and forth? Just kind of going like this. You can still see some of the white. You can kind of see all my brush strokes. I'm going to go a little bit more. So I want down here in the middle to be my lightest part. But it is up to you because it's your picture. So that's how I want my water to look, I think. So then our next part is we got to let this dry for a couple minutes. And I think I'm actually going to touch up some of the sides with my darker blue. So work a little more dark blue in my picture. Put my paintbrush in the water. So that is my water. Now I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit and then we are going to do the sand. Alright, so my picture is still a little wet, you can see, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be all the way dry. It just has to be mostly dry so it doesn't smear when you do the next part. So the next part is we are going to do the sand. So sand's like a tan color. So what we're going to do is somewhere on whatever you're using, put your paint on. We're going to take white and like kind of scoop it up. And the thing is when you're mixing colors, the light color, so white, you need more of than the dark color. You only need a little bit at a time, because what happens is that the dark kind of takes over the light color really fast. Oh, I got a little blue in there. So I'm going to scoop up a little more. And I'm going to mix. And my brown's kind of like a chocolate brown, so it's not exactly tan, but it's going to work just fine. Okay, so this is my color. And on the bottom, I'm going to paint my tan, and I'm going to have my one side go up a little more into the blue. I'm just going to paint all the way down. This side's going to be a little lower. And your line doesn't have to go perfectly across because it's a sand and it's not even. And I'm going to make sure I get my edges. Okay, so this is what my sand looks like at the bottom. Now, this is going to be a fun part. Now we're just going to take some dark brown, and just like the water up on top, we're just going to mix in some dark brown to make it look more realistic and three-dimensional. Okay, so I just swiped some brown in there. Now I'm going to take just white. I'm just going to dab some white in there. I know it's hard to see. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened with my last video, but okay. So we're just going to like work the white into to make some like light spots. Maybe up there. Down here, some light spots. Maybe you can go back in and do some dark brown again. Really, however you want it to look. It's your picture. So that is what that looks like, and now we have to let it dry again. Alright guys, so my picture is dry. So our next part is we are going to make some like coral and leaves and stuff. Or not leaves, seaweed. There we go, seaweed. So you're going to take your green, and over on the side here, I'm going to start about here, and I'm just going to paint some squiggly lines. You can decide how tall you want to make them. So there's one. Draw one like here. And one right here. Maybe this one's got like another long piece coming off of the top. So that's that side. Now I'm going to go to the other. Maybe I'm going to start closer to the bottom. Maybe I'm going to make this side a little smaller. This one's going to have one coming up. So there is my coral. If you want to do, you know, another one, or coral, gosh, your seaweed, do a little one there at the bottom. So that is your seaweed. We gotta let that dry a little bit, and then we will start on our crabs. Alright, so now we are going to do the crab. So you are going to need your red.
Red as that one, which I can already see your hand.
Shh. It's videotaping, Jay. My nephew is helping me videotape these. So you're gonna do like an upside down U. I'm gonna make mine a little bit bigger. There's my upside down U. Okay, and now I'm going to draw a line
Yep.
across the bottom so you can see where it ends. So that's like the shape of our crab. So now you're just gonna go and you're going to paint it in. So there's our one crab body. Now we're gonna do our second crab. So Jay, make sure you can see me paint over here, okay? So now you're gonna do the same thing. Upside down U. This is gonna be my baby crab. Upside down U, and then across the bottom. And then you just paint it in. Now I'm going to probably do a second coat on my crabs because I don't want to see all that. So I'm going to let it dry a little bit and then we'll do a second coat. So next we're going to do the hands, the little pinchers. So on the side, we're going to draw a line there like his arms and a line there. Oh, and my green apparently wasn't. Oh goodness.
I know it's getting colored.
That's okay. I'm just gonna take some of my paper towel and wipe that up. Not a big deal. Okay, so there's its arms. I'm gonna do my little arms on my baby. And then you're gonna make a U for this. There's your U. And then you're gonna do the letter V. So you're gonna go down, down. Paint it in. The letter U. And down, down. Paint that in. We're gonna go on our little one. Upside down U. Painted it. And those are our hands. Now we're gonna give them little feet. I'm just gonna go like this. So while you're doing that, then your red paint is probably dried enough just to go over it one more time to make it a little bit more red. And if you wanted to, you could take some of your white and you could put that in to make it look a little lighter in some spots. I'm gonna go over my little crab. Give him a little white spots on him. Remember, it makes it look kind of 3D. You want to fill his pinchers in again. Can you see it all, Jay?
Yep.
My little guy pinchers. Okay, now we're gonna let that dry a little bit and we're gonna give them some eyes.
Nice.
So I did forget to get black paint out. That's okay, we can use our brown. So you're gonna use white on Big Crab. And you're gonna give them 2 white circles. On that one. And 2 white ones on the little one. And then I'm going to use the tip of my brush, or my paintbrush. I'm going to dip it in the brown like that a little bit. Just gonna give it a dot for the eyeball. And I'm gonna clean my white off a little bit on the paper towel. I'm just gonna use my brown. I'm gonna give it a smile. Alright, I'm gonna hold it up. Is it all in there? So that is our crab under the sea picture. If you wanted to be fancy, clean my brush off. You could put a couple bubbles on here if you wanted to. Just get your little white and do a couple little circles going up. Up to the top. And there is our crab picture. Hope you enjoyed it.
There you go.